Hello and welcome back for another edition of London Direct. I'm in the offices of ETX Capital and we're going to be talking banker bonuses, which is very much back in the British media. Ed Miliband, the leader of the opposition in this country, is saying that he wants to see a cap on bonuses for RBS. David Cameron, Prime Minister, has basically echoed that, but it's put it back on the agenda. But why are politicians getting involved in the jobs of banks?
Yeah, I think first of all we have to remember that elections next year, political point scoring and brinkmanship is the word here. So the Labour Party is obviously looking to exploit on the terrible culture in the banking sector that over the last few years, and somebody needs to get punished. So the government and the Labour Party have obviously put the emphasis on the banks. At the same time, I think the one thing that we have to remember is that the Labour Party is declared Royal Mail's privatisation as a botched job, and we know that the government now will have to look at offloading their stake in Lloyds Banking Group and RBS potentially before the elections, or at least get the ball rolling. So if it's up to the Labour Party to make it as difficult for them for the coalition government, then they will do so. And if that means taking on bankers' bonuses, and that's what it means. I think the interesting thing about the story is that it's not new; it's just resurfacing. The EU have set out a rule where they place 100% cap on bankers' bonuses. For the EU, it's a different story from the UK. I think what the government's going for right now is that in the UK, what we don't want to do, especially in London, is that we don't want to drive out quality bankers from the city to make them go out to other financial hubs, the likes of Singapore, Hong Kong, or even New York. Whereas with the wider Eurozone, after going through a catastrophic banking near collapse, really the EU is just looking to safeguard the system in line with their banking supervision union that they're looking to create in the coming years. So it's a different issue. For the Labour Party, I think they want to march more in line with the Europeans, whereas for the current government in place, they want to safeguard the system, protect it by keeping quality bankers on board and making sure that London is still the dominant financial hub in the globe, around the globe, and it's one that has a formidable threat to all the other financial hubs and continues to bring in quality bankers.
Yeah. There's been many different sound bites from this financial crisis, like tapering and so on.
Yep.
And one of them was too big to fail. And doesn't it go back to that these banks are such huge entities that even governments can't touch them?
Absolutely. And the government has major stakes in RBS and Lloyds. Essentially, they're government-backed banks. They're our banks. We're the taxpayers here. So for the government at this particular point, it's a sticky situation because David Cameron, the Prime Minister, he recognises the fact that banks are reaping the rewards of punishing consumers, particularly after scandals like LIBOR and PPI, mis-selling PPI. There's a lot of public angst against bankers, and when it comes to the actual bonuses, although UK bankers are still getting paid a ridiculous amount, they are trying to rein this in. RBS now, with their current CEO, looking to not take or waive a bonus for this year. At the same time, other management members at RBS are taking a smaller bonus compared to what they would have. So I think it's starting to evolve and it's starting to change, but at the same time, it's going to be a sticky issue. It's not going to be one that's going to change overnight. I think what's going to have to happen is a major change in culture and ethics in the banking system, and that's going to come from a ground-up level. And I think the UK banking system is going through its current evolution. It's doing okay in some sense. They're de-risking their balance sheets across the board, from Barclays to the likes of the taxpayer-funded banks, RBS and Lloyds. I think it's really just the political game right now, and the Labour Party is looking to score as many points as it possibly can. And when you have a public which is very angry at the bankers, and banker bashing is pretty much the in fashion over the past few years, I think they're looking to appeal to that voice.
Right, as always, when we're at ETX Capital, we like to take a look at the FTSE, as really it's their expertise. Adrian, we've had a lot of retailers report their Christmas results so far. What have been the winners, what have been the losers?
The result for the retailer is doing pretty well, actually. We've got Sainsbury, we've got Next. Today we just got Burberry. We just released the Q3 results with revenue up by 14% and the sales up by 12%. in the UK market, just Tesco is a bit disappointed, but Tesco is doing so much in the international, so that doesn't affect really the UK economy.
What about the banks? We've seen in the US all the big banks are reporting this week, and obviously coming up we're going to have all the big UK banks reporting. What are we likely to see there?
Basically, the US just released some of the results for the bank. It's very well actually. We just got Bank of America and Goldman Sachs. They released really good result. Next week we're going to have the first British bank that's going to release the result as well, and we have to think about they are trying to detox the balance sheet as well, and they are trying to sell off some bad debt. So I'm forecasting a really good result as well for the UK bank that will have a positive impact on the FTSE. Hopefully the FTSE could as well increase in the past week.
But why are you looking for positive results? Because as you said, they're trying to cleanse their balance sheets. So surely they can't have good results and improving their balance sheets at the same time.
They started really earlier in the year, so I think we could finally see the result of the full year working and trying to clear the balance sheet. They made a lot of change as well in the management, and we always see some quite similarity between the US bank and the British bank. US bank just released really good result. I'm pretty confident for the British one as well.
Okay, well, let's finish off with your general call on the FTSE. We just about got that Santa rally at the end of December. So where's the FTSE going to move now?
Actually, 2014 started really well for all the indices in the world. If you focus just on Euro indices, FTSE is up by 1.1% since the 1st of January. It's right in the middle between the German DAX and the French CAC, and it's basically in the average of the whole Eurozone. As I told you, I'm expecting quite good results for Q3, so I think the trend will continue to go up next week, next 2 weeks.